Welcome to this video on the new layout in Microsoft Forms. So I've been in and out of Forms recently, playing around with some of my different surveys and feedback forms, and I've noticed a few different changes on here. So I thought it'd be nice to do a quick video where we could run through those differences and whether I find them beneficial or not. So I'm in Forms here. I've gone to Microsoft Office. I've gone to my 9 dots or selected my applications and I've come into Forms. You can see the standard buttons at the top, new form, new quiz or quick import. I can see I've got loads of templates there, and if I scroll down, all of my recent forms. So what I'm just going to do is click on new form and we can just dive in and have a look at what the differences are. And you can see straight away that I've got the questions presented to me in the options. So rather than me having to select and then go and select from a list, you can see here I have all of the question options available to me. I've got a quick start, and that's quite a nice little function. So I can choose which option I go with. I don't have to out, I'd have to change anything. I can do all of that really, really nice stuff. And if I click on choice, look and feel is exactly the same. It just gives me the option to start with that quick start, which is really, really great. Really, really nice to go into. So you can see I've got templates on the left-hand side. If we have a look at that, if we click on that, now depending on what type of account you have with Microsoft, whether it's a business, a personal, an educational, you might see some different formats, some different template options, but you can go there and find all of your templates. You can see you've got a number of ones to select, and then you can just scroll down and select it if you want to go from a template and work from that. And obviously, once you've selected that template, you can go in and make changes to that detail so you're not stuck with what's on there. But it might be a really great way to get you started. And that's right there on the left hand side, which is really cool. I'm just going to pop in a quick title for my form, just so we've got some information in there. And then in this question, I am going to put what course did you attend? And I'm just going to put some days in there. And you can see as soon as I start typing in, it starts to be really clever for me and help me out and give me some options. It just removed it then for me. But I could have selected Wednesday. And you can see it's popped up there again. So it allows me to select different options. So let's go for Friday as well. And you can see it's just popped that in there. So it really does try and help you speed up your process. Everything else looks pretty much the same on here. I can add an image if I need to. I can duplicate and delete. I can add other options, and then I've got all of my functions at the bottom as standard. So let's have a look at the top, because I think it's the top where there's changed the most and it looks a lot different. But the same functions are there. So don't worry, there's nothing overly differently changed. It just looks a lot nicer and it's a lot easier to manage. So you've got the style option. So once you've selected your questions, decided on a template if you're going to use a template. Then you've got your styles. You can see you've got different layouts that you can use to play around with just to really customize your feedback form, your survey, your quiz. And you've also got some nice style backgrounds as well. So lots to play around with. You just scroll down, you'll see it's all available there. Settings, we have settings available. Nothing's changed in there. It's just available at the top rather than in the top right. So you can change who can respond, your options for responses, durations if you want to do a quiz and you want to do a timed quiz, things like that. All of the great things in there, and we've gone through those in previous videos. So I'm just going to remove those. Got a preview option there, and I can obviously preview my form, my survey, my quiz, change it from computer to mobile, and you'll just be able to then see what the experience is on a mobile if the people who are going to fill in the details for you might be using a mobile device. So it's nice to be able to switch between those two. Collect responses is exactly the same. You're going to have seen this a number of times. Remember, you can collect responses in many different ways, using a link, using a QR code, you can embed it, and you can also define on this screen here not just on the settings, who you want to respond and how. And if you want to record that name, and it's very much depending on what type of feedback you get in, what your audience usually reacts like, whether you want to record the name or you want to keep it anonymous. I'm just going to skip view for a minute, but you've got present options where you can present it when you're delivering in a session. You've got your QR code there so you can get the feedback on the questions and you can see it in real time, which is really nice. We've got a video on this one as well when this function came out, so do have a look at that. And finally, you've got the three dots over there where you can see you've got your standard options, you've got multilingual feedback, you can print the form, collaborate and duplicate. So if you're sharing this and you're working with other people in your team, then you can collaborate there, and you can also duplicate this form to create a new version. So the last thing I'm going to do then is go to view responses, and you can see there's nothing really here at the moment, but it definitely looks and feels different. So I'm just going to go back to forms and find one that's got some responses in there. I'm going to go into this quiz just so we can see some answers, and you can see I've got 3 responses. I've got a little radio button with the number 3 so I can see what's going on. And then as soon as I come in here, you've got the same sort of options, but it's just presented in a much nicer way, which is really great. So you've got insights and actions there. I can open the results in Excel, and remember that changed recently where it was going to automatically update those results as well. So it was going to continually update that Excel document for you because it's linked really nicely. I can review answers and I can post the scores because this is a quiz rather than a survey that I'm looking at. But if I just look at my responses overview, you can see I've got 3 responses. I can go down and see all the really nice stuff that I have visible. I've got my pie charts. And if I had free text answers, I'd have word clouds and everything else. I'd be able to go and dive into all of that detail, showing me really, really nice stuff. You can see I've got 3 dots there to delete things if I'm using this as a proper quiz and I want to get rid of my results so I can get some fresh set in. I've got that information. And then let's just go into review answers. It looks exactly the same. Again, this is a quiz, so you can see I have right or wrong answers. Otherwise, you just have that results in there and you'd be able to go through and have a look at them. So everything is pretty much the same, but it just looks a lot nicer to work with visually. And things are just in a bit of a nicer place for you to grab hold of. I really like this new responses section because it means I can just go and grab what I need. I love the word clouds in there from those free text options. I think they're really useful to just get a real good feel, and you can just take a copy of those and stick them into a presentation and it looks lovely. It looks really nice. It's already designed. You don't have to think about the graphics or anything. It's already there and you can just take a copy of what you've got and you've got some really nice visuals. Or you've got the options in Excel and then you can create your own, whichever one works best for you. So I really like this part of it, the view responses. That's great. Love the fact that the templates are on the left, and then you can start when you start form, then you're selecting a question rather than one appearing, and then you're having to do some editing and stuff. I just think it's a nicer way to get going within Microsoft Forms. So if you use Microsoft Forms, if you've noticed these changes to the layout, to the interface, pop into the comments what you really like, what you don't like, what's missing still. Let's have a conversation about it, see what might be coming in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and let me know what videos you'd like me to record next.